Hi students, this is Bazi from Meslova Dizzy Classroom. In previous session, we learned about history of breathing and mechanism of breathing, exchange of gases and structure of respiratory system. Now we understand about how the gases are diffused into blood and they are transported, and how the production of energy occurs at cellular level, that is cellular respiration. And this is one of the peculiar mechanism and miraculous mechanism happens within our body to produce enormous energy to keep us alive. We understand diffusion of gases in our lungs at capillary level in alveolus. But what's the use of this diffusion of oxygen? What is its destination and where it have to reach? Its main purpose is to serve in the production of energy. Then who carries it to its destination, that is cell? It needs a vehicle or transport system to reach its destination, that is cell, to do its duty. You know, those vehicles which carry the oxygen molecule to its destination is red blood cells, and the transport system is our heart to pump to its destination. Yes, the blood is the only vehicle to carry oxygen to its destination throughout our body from each and every cell. You know, most of the blood consisting of red blood cells, that is about 40 to 45% of blood is consisting of red blood cells. Why blood look like a red in color? Why red blood cells only looks in red color? Our red blood cell is a flexible oval biconcave disc. It doesn't have any nucleus and cell organelles like in other cells. The hemoglobin is a metalloprotein. It consisting of heme group, that is iron ion, and 4 globular protein subunits are present. Imagine hemoglobin as a car and it has a 4 seats, that is 4 globular protein, because which accommodates only 4 seats and which carry only 4 molecules at a time. Here number of hemoglobin molecules are present in one red blood cells. Like this, the number of blood cells which have hemoglobin and which accommodates only 4 molecules of oxygen within the hemoglobin molecule. Due to this heme present in the red blood cells, it looks like red color because heme is one of the iron molecule and iron ion. During the process of respiration, oxygen directly diffused into the blood. It rapidly combines with the oxygen molecule to form oxyhemoglobin. Hence, the red blood cells, after getting oxygen into it, each and every molecule of hemoglobin which is present in the red blood cell accommodates only 4 molecules of oxygen because it has only 4 seats. Not only hemoglobin can combine with oxygen, and reverse can also happens to yield both the molecules of oxygen and hemoglobin. After its carrying function is over, it will releases the oxygen into its destination point. The oxygenated hemoglobin, when it reaches to its destination, that is cell, it releases the oxygen throughout the body, that is cells and tissues. After releasing of oxygen, the hemoglobin molecules become emptied, and this hemoglobin further pick up or receiving the carbon dioxide molecule from the tissues or cells, and they are carrying those carbon dioxide molecule back to the respiratory system, that is lungs, and then to the exhaled outside into the atmosphere as in the form of waste gases. Here the carbon dioxide is transported in the form of bicarbonate molecule. We understand that how these gases are exchanged and transported from cells to lungs and lungs to cells through the vehicle called red blood cells in the presence of hemoglobin molecule. You know why only the hemoglobin molecule will carry the oxygen? Why not others? It's a miraculous chemistry involved in it. We already know about the atomic structure and periodic table, and we know the properties of elements. You know, the oxygen have the paramagnetic property, while the hemoglobin is a ferromagnet, and it easily attracting the oxygen molecule, and also it releases oxygen molecule during diffusion process. But in the case of carbon dioxide, it will not happen like that, because the carbon dioxide is diffused in the blood water, and also due to high diffusion it will be attracted by hemoglobin, and carbon dioxide is carried return back to the lungs. You know why only the carbon dioxide and water vapor and other waste products are forming within the cell? It's looking like an industry producing something for us. During that time it releases waste gases. How electricity is produced from a black color coal in a thermal industry. In the same manner, in our body, the energy is produced within the cells. Like in industry, the total work is going on in our body. Imagine our body is a manufacturer that have number of industries, that is cells, like a Tata group. That industry is our cell, and it produces energy molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You know what the industry needs, and industry requires a place to do the work and the raw material from which it have to produce something, and resources and manpower, transportation, and its waste disposal facility. In the same manner, like in the industry, in our body the place is our cells, and the raw material is what we eat, that is food, and the resources are different types of cell organelles and nucleus within the cell, and the manpower, that is different types of enzymes and hormones involved in the process of it, and the transportation, it is done by blood cells in our body, that is blood and lymphatic system, and the waste disposal, that happens only through blood, and also different types of vital organs like excretory system, skin, and other waste gases which are released from our body. The entire process that we call it as metabolism, in which both breakdown of material and construction of new material takes place at a time. During this process, enormous energy and different types of waste products are evolved within the cell, like in industry. All these things are happens within the cell. Breakdown of raw material is catabolism, and construction of new materials like protein, fats, and lipids is called as anabolism. Both the process together we call it as metabolism. In this process only energy is manufactured. It's the process of energy production and consumption. Then how this energy is produced? Like electricity in a thermal industry from a coal. Like a coal molecule in the industry, here the glucose molecule, which is produced by all green plants on this planet. This glucose molecule must be eaten directly or indirectly by all the organisms, that is animals on this planet. We invest energy in the form of food, and we create energy to survive. Hence, cellular respiration is needed to produce energy. We know that our body is made up of trillions of cells. All these cells are involved in the manufacturing of energy through cellular respiration, and this energy is produced within our cells. We know that all the cells are made up of different types of cell organelles and fluids, and different types of components are present within them. We get glucose from our food, but cell organelles cannot get energy from the direct molecule of glucose. It needs a simplification of glucose molecules, and they cannot get any energy out of it. The glucose is converted into more useful form of energy molecule that can be utilized by all the cells in our body. That molecule is ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate, and this can be produced in our body in presence of oxygen or without oxygen. Before the production of ATP, or in either process within the presence of oxygen or not, it requires simplification of glucose molecule. The simplification of glucose molecule occurs in cytosol or cytoplasm of the cell. During this process, 6 molecules of glucose is broken into half of 2 molecules of 3 carbon pyruvic acid molecules are produced. In this process, it requires 2 ATP molecules as investment, and it produces 4 ATP from 4 ADP and 4 phosphorus molecules. And also it produces 2 NADH from 2 NAD plus molecules, and this process we called it as glycolysis. Finally, in the process of glycolysis, it produces 2 pyruvic acids, 2 ATPs and 2 NADH molecules. From here to cellular respiration, it takes 2 directions or 2 pathways or biochemical pathways. It is determined by the presence of oxygen molecule. Have you ever imagined respiration occurs without oxygen? Yes, it occurs in certain microbes and also in animals, but in animals it occurs within a short period of time. And this type of respiration or cellular respiration, we call it as anaerobic respiration. Generally, this process we observe in our daily life in preparation of various types of day-to-day life products, that is cakes or preparation of bread in the and preparation of its dough, and also we may see in the preparation of curd and dosa and idli batters we may observe. Ask your parents about it, why we will not prepare idli or dosa batter and curd instantaneously. To produce all these items, it needs time to take anaerobic respiration. Here what happens, the cells present in the matter, they are getting almost all the food molecules, and they convert and they release carbon dioxide as waste gas, and also they make it easy to get number of products in our daily life. And generally this process we called as fermentation. It is the process that converts the sugar molecules to acids, gases and alcohols. Depends on the matter. The fermentation occurs in 2 processes. That is, one is called as lactic acid fermentation, another one is alcoholic fermentation. Milk is turned into curd. In this process, the milk has a globular protein, that is casein, and this casein is converted and it is solidified by the bacteria present in it through the process called anaerobic respiration, and which turns the milk into curd through the process of lactic acid fermentation, because the lactic acid bacteria is present in it, which converts the milk into curd. And this lactic acid formation is also observed in various types of animals and also in human beings, especially in our life. If you are doing any vigorous exercise or walking or running or jogging, during that time we get pain for a short term period within our muscles, and we get sore muscles or pain within our muscles, because here the cells undergoing anaerobic respiration where lactic acid is formed within the muscles, which causes pain within our muscles. After getting oxygen, it becomes normal and it restores its normal level. Here in this lactic acid fermentation, the two molecules of, after getting glycolysis, the two molecules of pyruvic acid is undergoing lactic acid fermentation, and it gives two molecules of ATP and two molecules of NADH, but there is no excess ATP is formed, but it continues the process of glycolysis, and we will observe all these things within our life. In the process of alcoholic fermentation, what happens? The alcohol is produced as a byproduct. The alcoholic fermentation, which mostly we observe in our daily life, that is various types of industrial products and industrial production, generally in which yeast cell is used to produce number of products. In this process, alcohol and bubbles of carbon dioxide is produced within the process of fermentation. Both are making food to cook easy and make it tasty. The rapid industrialization and various types of food processing units and manufacturing industries are using this type of fermentation to produce number of products in our life, that is alcoholic fermentation. It has wide range of benefits in day-to-day life to produce number of products, especially in food processing units and bulk drug industries, pharmaceutical industries, and preparation of antibiotics, and different types of number of benefits are there through the process of anaerobic respiration, that is alcoholic fermentation. And finally, we conclude that the respiration also happens without oxygen, that is in the process of anaerobic respiration. Till now, we understand how the gases are transported within the blood and exchange of gases takes place, and importance of hemoglobin, and also how the respiration occurs within at the cellular level without the presence of oxygen, that is anaerobic respiration, and the process of glycolysis. And in next time we will discuss how the energy is produced within the presence of oxygen, that is how the ATP machine within the cell works to produce ATP, that is enormous energy within our cells. Until then, bye bye students, thank you and see you soon.